The teams are in. It's time for Team List Tuesday.
Alrighty, tough scenario, obviously, for the Dolphins last week, where they find themselves back in New South Wales. They'll travel to McDonald Jones Stadium to take on the Newcastle Knights, where both sides need to improve upon their round one performance. The Knights sneak past, they found a way out. As for the Dolphins, well, you thought they were probably the better team, but just couldn't get it done in the end. The Knights taking on the Dragons, the Dolphins, I should say, which means, well, how does this play out here? Let me pick my specs up here, tourist, as this boots up. That was massive padding, I must say. All right, here we go.
Pick up my specs.
So, changes-wise in the back line, nil for the Newcastle Knights. They are as per last week. Adam Elliott returns after missing round one, so he'll take over on the bench. Brodie Jones, who was listed as the 18th man, and no other changes for Adam O'Brien. Solid enough first up performance for the Tigers. They'll need to improve. No Finafawaki for the Dolphins. Concussion, he's out. Connolly Lemuelu, a fractured eye socket, forces a restructure in the pack, so Orlan Keeley joins the side. He's promoted from 18th man to start in the back row. Mark Nichols, who missed out last week, he joins the bench. And Cody Nikorima also returns to the starting side, so Sean O'Sullivan drops to the reserves. That is the Newcastle Knights taking on the Dolphins in this particular one. Brian, the Warriors taking on the Seagulls. Do we have that clip? Let's do this. Let's go down memory lane. Maestro will like pulling the trigger on this one.
It's gone to Cherry Evans. They've really got them at 6s and 7s. Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans has scored. The rookie number 7 has scored in the grand final right on half-time.
Well, this might be one of the most memorable tries in grand final history.
What he's referring to there, Gus Gould, it is a tight affair. It's about 6 points to nil. And just before half-time, about 40 seconds beforehand, 30 metres out from their own goal line, Glenn Stewart, who hasn't played for 4 weeks, he got suspended in the Battle of Brookie.
That's right.
Hasn't played for 4 weeks.
He went berserk.
Puts a little grubber kick through. They scoop it up. Cherry Evans, I've got to say, Glenn Stewart, deservedly so, picks up the Clive Churchill. Cherry Evans had a blinder. Mate, that was his first ever season. And he finishes the year as a premiership-winning halfback who went within a bees of winning what would have been his first of 2 Clive Churchill medals. He had a blinder.
And with that big contract with DCE, I think he was on a minimum deal that year. So it was sort of when he signed the big deal with Manly, you sort of went, well, you got to look back and go, he did do what he did in his rookie year and sort of give him a bit more of a benefit with that contract because he was on minimum and he had all those stars around him. Was it 4 in the halves with him that year too?
4 in the halves, and then
that's where they just took off.
They had Killer. That right side.
Snake Stewart on fire.
Gifty. Yeah, it's a fair side.
Vadavai had that awesome final series too where it was...
Anywho, it's my go. Friday, 6 p.m. Now, the Warriors, you would think they would make some sort of change. Well, guess what? The same team, the same 17 that rolled out against Canberra at Vegas. Not one change. So, the Tamari Martin, we've been calling for Tamari to be put in at 7. Well, guess what? He's not there. Manly, same team, except one. Siwa Takiaho is not in the side. So, in comes...
Alloy A.
Josh. Josh Alloy A. O'Shea Ole.
3 points.
So it's the same team. Whether or not they move Roger from the wing, there might be a hybrid going on, but they are, as per program, from round 1, so are Manly, except O'Shea Ole is in.
What about, I was just looking at this team list for Manly, and this is the health they have as far as depth's concerned. Tommy Talau, I think he was equal top try scorer for Manly last year, can't make the side.
Yep. And that Clayton Faulallo,
yep,
he scores for fun in second grade.
Does. Yeah.
And he scored a couple when he played first grade. So we talk about the depth of certain squads. They are 100 feet.
Brian,
Deep Mariana Trench.
Would you agree that Daly Cherry Evans has got one of the greatest kicking games in the comp?
Long, short, all the best.
How the hell are the Warriors going to compete with field position with our kicking game?
Well, we're going to have to see how they go. They're going to have to just kick, chase, tackle, as a great Gus Gould would say.
Well, somebody chased and tackled. It was the 2003 grand final. That man was Scott Sattler with the Panthers beating the Roosters. They meet on Friday night. Brooks man.
8 p.m. Combank, Fletch, Panthers. Check out this. Brian To'o is back into the side. after missing Vegas due to a hamstring injury. Paul Alamotti shifts to centre. Luke Garner reverts to the bench. On the other wing, Casey McLean has recovered from his head knock that he suffered over in Vegas, so he'll be there. Garner's move to the bench means Luron Patea goes back to the reserves. He's been named to start in Reggie's. Also among the reserves is Liam Henry, who didn't play in Vegas. He's nearing a return from his shoulder injury. For the 0-2 Roosters, the 0-1 Roosters, Victor Radley is sidelined with the concussion protocol after copping that knock in the first half against the Broncos. So last week's debutant, Salesi Foketi, has been promoted to the starting lineup at lock. Former Eel Makahesi Makatoa has been added to the bench. Billy Smith.
Yes.
He's had a hip and ankle rehabilitation.
Come on,
He's
Billy.
listed among the reserves.
Beautiful.
So he's not in the 17. He's got jersey number 22 on his back. He might be there come kickoff. Hugo Savala is again the 18th man. Spencer Lenu, still not back to play his former club. He's back round 3.
Have you ever seen the Roosters at $9.50 head to head?
Yeah, Vossi answered that this morning.
Oh, what did Vossi say?
He said,
Thanks very much, Max.
Breakfast 6 a.m. every.
Yeah, sorry.
he said last time they were $9.50, Jimmy Smith was playing.
$9.50.
Oh,
It just looks so wrong.
It's too big.
It's so
mate,
wrong,
it
but
is
so
too
right.
big.
too big.
This is not Penrith Park, ladies and gentlemen. This is CommBank Stadium.
So hang on. Woo. Are we taking the 20 and a half?
Oh,
I feel it might get a 24 and a
Mate,
half.
it was a skating rink between the Dolphins and the Rabbitohs
Yeah, it
last
was
week.
skating, yeah.
We're taking the Roosters for the start.
I can't go with you.
It's too big, Brian.
I can't go with you.
come on, boys.
It's too big.
It screams bloodbath,
I
surely.
can't go with you, but I tell you who I can go with.
Panther in the hen house.
Look at this man over here. He's even got, okay, now listen,
I changed shirt.
Changed shirt, and he's got some sort of contraption.
Contraption.
What is that contraption?
It's like a little phone holder. It
Yeah.
keeps my
Yeah.
cards. It's very dad in his 40s.
Very Tasman.
You changed your shirt for this segment.
Yeah, I took my shirt, my nice shirt.
You
in
had
today.
your white shirt
No,
on
it's on
there.
underneath. It's on underneath.
Yeah.
And it was warm,
Yeah.
and so I took it off. I purposely wore the nice shirt.
I
I'm
like
not
that.
denying it.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
like
denying
Now,
Not denying it.
now, tomorrow when Jimmy Graham comes in, you two need to wear different shirts because you look exactly alike.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got the beard. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he'll grow one.
Much more handsome. Dragons versus Rabbitohs, Saturday, 3 p.m. at Wynn Stadium. For the Dragons, Ryan Couchman, he has done his ACL, so he is out. So House, he comes into the side. Blake Laurie, he comes into the side. No one gonna bite on that one.
Oh,
Sorry.
Laurie, the actor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, it was in house.
he was
I
in
used to love
house.
it. He was
Hugh Laurie.
he was a doctor and he was a junkie. He was on
Love the meds.
Yeah, he was on opiates.
Prescriptions.
Yeah, opioids. Heavy. Come on.
The top try scorer in the NRL, Knock Effect Cup, Tyrell Sloan. He is listed among the reserves with Loco Pacifica Tonga. Dylan Egan is the 18th man. For the Bunnies, Fletcher Meyer, he comes in to replace Jack Whiten at centre. And there is a debut for Bailey Bentley-Hape. He'll make his debut on the wing. Tyron Monroe out with a collarbone injury. Lewis Dodd, he has served a suspension, but does not get a space in the starting 18. Interesting, number 22 for the Bunnies, Talanoa Penatani,
Yes.
younger brother of
Oh,
Tiani
yeah.
Penatani.
Oh,
Excellent.
Number 22 for the Bunnies this week.
Talented family.
Wow.
Brother-in-law, Aaron Gray.
So just young Harpe, by the way, he's no relation to Shontaine Harpe.
He's not.
No, sorry, not the son of. He clarified that, Shontaine. But I've come across this young kid in the lower grades. I've never seen this ever, where
Yeah.
the
He
young
shows.
kid had the hyphenated surname. So his mother or father had a hyphenated surname who married another person with a hyphenated surname, and he's hyphenated the hyphenated.
Well, is that
So he's got 4 surnames.
he's got 4 surnames? But is that what you think it is, or is that what's happened?
Well, it has to have happened.
No, I was thinking maybe they've separated and he's kept mum and dad,
One of each.
one of each.
But he's got
Yeah, I know, but
4.
Has he got the 2 fathers, the 2 mothers, a mother and a father and a mother?
We don't know.
Have you ever seen hyphens hyphenated?
No,
No,
but
he's
you know
his
who's
mother was
going to
a
get
mother.
around this guy? The Warriors.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They love
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He will be a warrior
Yeah.
at some stage during his career.
Cowboys and the Sharks, QCB Stadium. This is a big game. Both sides looking for a big one here. Both coming off losses. So the loser under a little bit of Chiriaco Mesha The team news as far as the Cowboys are concerned, Jason Taumalolo is listed among the reserves as he needs a return from a what, Brian?
He has a Elizabeth.
An Anne. Yeah, Frank.
And a Frank Burns at the end of it. Eat worms.
Jake Clifford, who had the hernia complaint, he's listed as the 18th man. Is there a late switcheroo
I
here?
hope not. My man needs another shot. Give Daffy a go.
Duffy Duck. Okay, all right. He's got the inclusion of Kai O'Donnell for Jeremiah Nanai in the back row.
Did you see that at Brookie? So Bateman and Nanai
Swapped in there.
swapped. And I don't know. Nanai is one of the biggest threats on that right with the kick.
He had the Chad there with him.
And they've swapped them, and now Nanai is now on the bench.
19. Has he
Or
been
extended bench.
Something's going on down there. He's an Origin player.
Jeremiah Nanai has been named in jersey number 19.
Was he that bad? I mean, they're all
He
bad.
came off at the end, so I think he probably played 55 minutes, maybe.
There's no
Maybe
injury, is there?
60.
No.
I thought he was so good on the right the last few years. They swapped it because Bateman's there. I thought Bateman would have been the one that moved over to the other side, to the left.
We're not privy to the details.
I don't know,
behind
of
No,
course, but
wow.
outside looking in, what's doing?
Good work.
Tell you what, it's not a game you want to lose here, boys. 0-2.
No.
0-2. It's a big
Paddy.
one. No changes for the Sharks, by the way. No changes for the Sharks. By the way, there was a text that come through before asking about Liam Ison, the young fellow who he's done his ACL as well, I think, which is a shame.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the details on Cade Dykes. He's not listed in last week's New South Wales Cup team. I'll tell you something about Cade Dykes. So obviously Adam Dykes is his dad. His uncle Jared Dykes, who was a gun, he, for the whole month, is swimming 3 kilometres a day, every day, and he's up to about day 10.
Fad.com.
How good?
That's a good big go.
That's a great go.
We
Well done, Dykesy.
just on young Ison, we need Nathan and his plethora of physios that he hangs out with to find out was it the boots?
Yeah.
Was it the boots? Okay, my go, and my go is Saturday, 15th of March, 7:35 p.m. The Broncos and the Raiders. Now, Sugar, this is one of the great travesties. I know what you're going to say. Never played against each
That's
other
right.
in a
grand
grand
final.
final. Never played against each other. Well, as we expect,
I was thinking that.
as
It
we
is.
expect, the Broncos, 0 changes. 0 changes. I want to give young Jack Gashevsky a rap too. I thought he was very good against those useless chooks. Let's go to the Raiders. So, no Joey Tarpany is gone. So, Josh Papali'i comes into the prop forward. Morgan Smithies starts at lock. And the Pommy, Matty Nicholson, is the new man on the bench. And no Xavier Savage, so the batter is gone. He's got that one-game ban. Albert Hopewate comes into the side. How do you see this, boys? Are we thinking they've got the hot hand at the moment, the Bronx?
Definitely hot hand.
I can't take him on at this stage. I can't go. I just can't take him on.
Joey.
Reece Walsh, 14 tries from his last 14 games. He's in a mood.
Didn't overplay his hand. I don't think he made an error. Did he make an error? You know, he was always good for 2 or 3.
Yeah, he botched that certain try.
Oh, yes.
That was the only sort of thing that, what a player.
Give it a D, Mariner.
Eels and the West Tigers.
Yes.
Brooksy, this is a big one. Combank Stadium, so it's, this is a tricky one.
There's some good matchups, boys. I think we'll talk about it once I go through the team news. Plenty of players back. So for the Eels, back rower Sean Lane. He's back from his knee injury in the place of Kelma Tuolangi. Former Bulldog Jordan Samrani makes his NRL debut on the wing, taking over from Jake Tungo. While another former Bulldog, Kitione Kaltonga, has been added to the bench at the expense of Charlie Geimer, Tamora's finest.
Where's the gynecologist gone?
He's out of the office. No house calls for Charlie. West Tigers, huge boost for Benji and his side. So 2 big names coming back into the spine. Appy Coruscant, Jareem Buller. They're both back from suspension and shoulder. I thought it was appendicitis from Jareem, but obviously he's done a shoulder as well. Stafford Toa is also good to go. Last week's debutant, Tristan Hope and Solomona Fatape are listed among the reserves. Boys, I can't go past the 5/8 matchup.
Yeah,
We have Dylan Brown, who has just gone to the Knights. There is a vacancy now at the Eels, and one of the players that is rumoured to probably be on their list is the Tigers' 5/8 Lockie Galvin. Boys, this is a huge matchup.
Huge.
You had him early. Like it's the Alan Bond moment when he bought Channel 9.
That's right.
Brought him back.
Bought it back.
Yep.
Like, well, Kerry Packer bought it back, did he?
Yeah,
Kerry Packer.
Yeah.
how do you let this kid go? I'd imagine, he's only a baby now. Like, what's happened if he was on the books coming through the ranks and he's 19 or 20 now? I'd imagine 3 years ago he was...
Well, Westfield Sports High, wasn't he?
How do you let him go?
Do you think like the Arthur situation might have blocked him? Now that Arthur's gone and Brown is gone, is it welcome back?
Gee, that's a good spot.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Lockie.
Lockie.
Whatever it happens, it's going to be. Do we know that if Lockie is off contract this year?
Following year.
Following year, but you can negotiate.
Yes. Okay. No, November 1.
Yeah.
He is.
I've heard
but there
he's
will
looking
be
at houses in Vaucluse.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Brian, cast your eye on these team sheets. What's your gut?
My gut is the Tigers with Appy back in the side. I said it last week. If Appy plays against the Knights, they win. Now you've got the
Dream team.
The Dream team. And Adam Dewey, too, in the centres. That's his position. Adam Dewey
Stafford
is
Tor
a
comes in
centre.
for Fatape.
It's a good-looking side.
Geez, that's a tough game. I'll tell you now, just be wary. I'm probably leaning the way the Tigers do. Just be wary about those teams taking the Broncos and the Storm on. I'll tell you what I actually did. I went through Parramatta's numbers conceded to the Storm, forget the scoreline, and the Tigers conceded to the Knights. They're almost identical. One team played the Knights, one played the Storm.
What missed tackles, line breaks conceded?
All that.
Yep.
All that.
Oh, that's a worry.
Post-contact meters. So if you took the score away and said, guess who's who, you can't tell them. So I'm a bit wary about that.
No, but they're strengthened by those two.
Oh, they are.
Big
time.
ins.
Big time. Big time. All right, there you go. Touristo.
Bulldogs versus Titans, final game of the round. Sunday, 6:15 out at Belmore Sports Ground. For the Bulldogs, Josh Curran, he has served his one-match ban that he had from the preseason challenge. He's on the bench, so Harry Hayes goes to 18th man. Kurt Mann, he has been named at lock. I'm not sure if you saw the shiner that he
Great
had.
shiner.
Oh, will he wear an eye
shiner.
patch?
Yeah. Army Huddies.
Wouldn't you love to see that NRL game?
He's named to start at lock, but he could swap with Jamin Salmon. For the Titans, first game of the year for them. Reverse cowgirl, RCG in the front row, alongside Mo Fodawaka, with skipper Tino Asuma-La'awi. He is in a lock. AJ Brimson and Jaden Campbell, they are going to be the halves to start the year like they did in all the trials. David Fafita, Jamin Jolliffe, they come off the bench with Chris Randall and Brock Gray. And if we're all lucky, the number 18 for the Titans is Jalen DeGroot.
So let me get this right. So David Fafita has gone from being the prize signing for the Roosters
Backflip.
to being on the bench for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Off-season dramas.
That is the best 15 matchup I've ever seen. Satili Tupanua v. David Fafita.
Oh, yes.
A double in your first game for the Doggies. Fafita coming off the bench. Ooh.
Your boy Tom Weaver in the reserves.
Oh, Kenny Powers.
So
where is Tino? Oh, Tino's at lock forward.
Dogs 13 plus.
13?
Yeah. How are they going to get in field position? Gold Coast.
Good pack.
Burton strangled the Dragons last week.
Kicking game.
And their kick chase was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Would you take the Titans or the Dragons forward pack? In terms of go forward, getting out of trouble. And the wingers too.
No.
Let's say the 1-2-5 as well.
Yeah, but there's going to be no rolling boulder. Burton's
No
going
rolling
to put it
boulders.
up there and suffocate them.
Week 1 of the season, and the only Fafita starting is Jojo.
Yeah.
On the wing.
Yeah.
This could be a sneaky upset for me.
Are you feeling it?
Titans.
They started poor last year.
Yeah, but
They
they
were
had
dreadful
the
last
bye.
year.
And they're like...
And their preparation too.
It's
they're on
been the
top of the
off-season.
ladder. They're in the top 8. Oh, they're not, 9th.
13 plus
well, here we go.
Dogs.
Lundy. Conspiracy theory. Knights signed Dylan Brown to a 10-year deal while their coach is one finals miss from getting the sack. They signed him, telling him that he'll be reunited with Brad Arthur in the next 2 years after they axe O'Brien, Cromie, Lundy. You like that?
I love that.
Arthur and O'Brien are best mates, aren't they? They're pretty tight.
There's no friendship in coaching.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Even better, boys. First game for the Titans. There's 3 Fafitas playing, and none of them are David.
Oh, yes. Go through them.
Daniel Saluka Fafita for the Bulldogs.
1.
Jojo Fafita.
2.
And then David Fafita on the bench.
Yeah.
So what do you mean none of them are David?
Yeah, the
None of
third
them are
one
playing.
is.
Yeah, but none of them are starting. Sorry,
starting.
Okay.
Sorry, my apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? David Fafita, pass to Jojo Fafita, who's taken down by Daniel Saluka Fafita. Good stuff,
Beef
tourist.
feeders and good. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, I think we've got to get to the news, boys, because we are rambling and apparently we're still on air. We're
Okay.
just exhausted.
Keen for Kane Corns.
We're keen
Pumped.
for Kane
I
Corns.
love the cornhole.
We love the corn man.
Who doesn't? What's that, Seal? Seal?
I'm just making head movements, Brock.
Yeah, welcome, Seal.
Oh,
What's been
thanks.
going on?
No,
Now,
I
before
just
we
did
go-
the show today.
Before we go to the news, any update in the love life?
Yeah, I'm in a year-long relationship, bro.
Oh,
No, I knew
a
that.
year.
I knew that.
It might be a bit short of a year.
Oh.
It's getting that way. It's getting
Interesting.
close.
But you were
Good
playing
update.
the field there for a little while. You were just...
How did you meet?
Sugar's theory.
You're a dirtbag.
How did you meet?
I was out at a nightclub, Sugar. Where else do you meet people
What's the
now?
nightclub?
And how did you break bread? Like, did you know him beforehand?
No, it was fresh.
Dance floor?
New dance
Yeah.
floor.
What'd you come up with?
Followed up. Just a bit of dancing. Asked her if I could buy her a drink. She was too blind, so she said, I can only buy you a Coke. You're only allowed to buy me a Coke. And then followed up
Oh, that's
politely, little dinner date, and it's gone from there. It's
Where'd
gone
you go
very
for dinner?
nicely.
Did you get 14th?
I went to Chin Chin.
What he's asking?
What? What's
What have you
happened?
done to him?
I've done nothing.
What did
He
you
said-
say?
I
The
missed it.
mortal
Did you get a
chat. Oh, tourist, that's disgusting.
What
Why
about
don't they get
Jalen?
married?
What about Jalen?
Seal,
Yes, Fletch.
what song were you dancing to? Because this will come up. She'll say to you, was it the Nut Bush?
Certainly wasn't Nutbush. I'm looking at Surfing USA by the Beach Boys, but that's not correct.
No.
So
it
you're
was
on the
Rihanna. I feel like it was Rihanna.
You were on the dance floor.
Umbrella.
Yes.
At which venue was this?
It was quite close proximity to our friends at the Sporting Globe, actually, down there. in
Oh,
Barangaroo.
are you-
Pontoon.
You're
Cockle
getting
Bay?
closer.
Cockle Bay?
Getting closer.
No, Cargo.
More ratchet.
Cargo.
Yeah, there you go.
Ratchet
Well
and
done.
Cargo.
Or Bungalow. One of those two.
God, I did some demis there.
Is
in
she
the
local?
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.